the $1 million loan or grant, whatever they want to call it. But you know what? There's plenty houses in Pemberton Township who pay taxes, and we get punished. But I just hope before the winter coming up, my drainage will be there. Since I have you now that you answer me this question, Mr. Gonzalez, can you answer me in reference to the millet on Florida and Canadic Trail where you guys went and picked it up to truck loads? Did you receive any letter for DEP? Was sent it to the township?
Mr. Gonzalez, would you care to answer?
Sure. I'm not aware of any letter received, but we didn't have any piles of millings in that area. We had 3 piles of dirt and sand.
Okay. For me, the township certified, I will go and have my own water test. And I know the only thing they took from there was 2 dump truck loads. I don't know where they dump it. But guess what? With the tractor, they came and just level everything out. Still more there. Where those chemicals for those old roads went was not dirt. It smelled when you go by there. I walk there every day. Okay, in reference to the Black Party, you're talking about they going have a Saturday. I know that we have noise in places. We've been here about this for a long time, but I think this is not the only Black Party that people's going to have. We should have a stipulation, things in place that the township can, when the person come and get a permit on it, the stipulation where you can tell them where they allow what is going on, because there is residents all around. There is older people who probably doesn't like the noises. I know there is time and place. I know that. Been in here for many years, and guess what? I hear this. Measure the noise is one thing. But when you start playing in 10 o'clock and by, in 11 o'clock and by, that's no. That's no. I just hope the next time when you guys present the stipulation, the rules or the bylaws, what do you got to follow this when you have those things? It's very simple.
Excuse me, Ms. Phillips. Amy, when they apply for a parade permit, do they get some kind of rules or anything to tell them the do's and don'ts of their block party or anything?
The parade permit has nothing to do with the noise. The parade permit is simply for the closing of the roadways. We did at one time have loudspeaker permits. Those, we no longer have loudspeaker permits. There was a noise ordinance put in place. It's my understanding that there were some issues with the enforcement of the noise ordinance, and that's what's being worked on now. But I can't say 100% to that. The parade permit has nothing to do with the noise. The parade is for the blocking of the roadways.
Amy, I have the business administrator found the provision in the code that indicates that personal music amplification or reproduction equipment shall not be operated in a manner that's plainly audible between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m. So it's 10 p.m. is the cutoff for music under the code. So this permit indicates the block party is ending at 9 with cleanup to 10. So it's within the confines of the noise ordinance as well.
Does that help, Ms. Phillips?
Well, I think that's help, but it will be nice when the people come and put for their permit, you can just get that notation and put it in their permit. And don't have to just won't have no problem at all. But this was I was not very happy camper when I got to go and pick out the garbage where the people throw out from their windows. And I got to walk time and time and drive by to another town and see so beautiful. What is the difference? I'm a taxpayer. Everybody a taxpayer there. And I don't think, I be honest with you, that we do not need today to go borrow money There is plenty money this township paying in revenues. Come on. Right now, I noticed I was driving for the Pointville roads or for Dix roads. I know that there is $2 stores in there. There is a dollar store in Browns Mill. Why you don't bring them a grocery store, a supermarket beside Acme killing the people? I leave my morning metro, I'll be honest with you. You know why? Because if I go to Acme and buy $100 of food, you know how many bags I will bring? I may bring 4. I can go to Metro and I get everything. There is no need for me to leave the money over there. But since my township cannot supply me with those needs, guess what? I'm going to go someplace else. And I hope in the future, not only bars, clubs in this town, that's the only thing we can bring it to this township. There's so many bars in this township and I'm even funny. I'm not a drinker. And the worst part it is. And when I'm driving down the roads, I fear the alcoholics and drug addicts. Because innocent people been dying in this township. Because for those things. I leave you and I will see you in 2 weeks and I just hope, yes, I have some kind of answer. But I don't feel the residents should be punished because we pay plenty taxes. And I just hope the drainage will be put there because I'm not going to continue head water. I already called my insurance company and they stated to me, that's not their problem. Administration is the one got straight the business. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Mr. Tompkins? Ms. Cathers, I guess that's the reason why no one mows the grass in your neighborhood before 8 a.m.? The noise ordinance?
Jack.
Mr. Tompkins?
I wanted to let them finish. Jack Tompkins, Pemberton Heights. I wanted to talk about the same old thing, but I also wanted to mention, I'm sorry I wasn't at the last council meeting. I understand the chief was here. I talked to him last night at National Night Out, and I did apologize to him for not being here after all my complaining and asking for him to be here. I did look online. His attendance was not on the agenda, where I would have fired off an email to somebody saying that I was being tied up in Philadelphia and couldn't make it, so I apologize to that. I still do have speeders in the township, residential areas. If you look on social media, it seems to be a very common occurrence throughout the township. I do know that the township police department is short-staffed. It seems like every time you turn around, there's an excuse or there's something going on. And I wanted to throw out a couple things. And one portion of this is very, very, very hard for me to say. And I'll save that for the last thing. Whenever I have an encounter with one of our police officers, they are always phenomenal. Very professional, just outstanding individuals. I couldn't ask for anything more. Well, the only thing I could really ask for is more of them. Unfortunately, it seems like we are short-staffed, very, very short-staffed. And you talk to the administration and you talk to the chief when you get a chance to talk to them, and there's always a barrier as to why we can't get more police officers on staff. And one thing that I kind of hear every now and then, civil service. All of our officers are civil service. I know of an officer that was local that's not part of our township that changed police forces. And it just so happened the mayor was behind me, and I said, you know, I'm surprised that we couldn't entice this officer to come over to our police department because there's mutual aid and this officer has worked with our department before. And the answer was, this officer wasn't civil service, so he couldn't come over to us. And I looked up online, and Andy, maybe you can answer this, or Mr. Gonzalez, maybe you can. Civil service, the big thing there is to attract quality people and to retain them once you have them. But I know, like I said, one officer that was phenomenal, he's just not civil service, and it ruled him out. And that kind of hurt us. And I also talked to some of the officers, well, I think it was the mayor and the chief, about possibly having a mesh force with Class 1 and Class 2 officers. And the response was, because they're civil service, they can't do that. So it's another restriction placed on us because of civil service. And And me, I'm thinking, okay, if civil service is kind of penalizing our force, why don't we do away with the requirement and kind of open it up a little bit? And then we might also want to look at maybe some of the residency restrictions. If we don't have residents to apply, then maybe open it up a little bit to people that aren't residents. I know we prefer hiring within the township, but we want to look at other options. Right now, if we have 50-some officers that are authorized and we only have 40, that's telling me there's a problem. And we really should be looking at it. More boots on the ground would be a good thing, I think, in this township. And it's not just me. I see it and hear other residents saying the same thing in residential areas. People flying around the lake and people over in country lakes flying around in there and stuff. It's just not me. A lot of other people have the same issues. And the last part that I wanted to mention, that I've kicked it around in my mind a while, and it's so extreme that I really didn't want to mention it or say nothing. But I see the problems ongoing over and over and over, and there is no solution. There's no there's nothing being done to fix it. And it seems like we have problems with the police department, with litigation, the locker rooms, the 8-hour shifts. These guys, these men and women are getting beat up every time they turn around. And it has to have a direct input or effect on their job performance daily or hourly even. And my thought is, it's got to be like a cancer within our police department right now. And it's got to be just doing nothing good. And we might want to really start thinking about doing something like Camden did a few years ago. And start from bottom to top. New police force. And it's just my 2 cents of what I'm thinking. And like I said, that's a hard statement to stay. Because we do have some phenomenal police officers. But we have some issues too. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jack.
Ms. Cathers?
Cecilia Cathers again. I just want to say thank you for sending out the sweeper, the street sweeper. It came down our road the first time in 15 years.
Wow.
Since we had the road paved, but it was nice to see. He did a phenomenal job, but he left the oil track all the way down the road. There's big oil, but I'll take care of that. I just want to say thank you for purchasing that piece of equipment. It's fantastic, and I agree with this gentleman here. We do need more policemen. Every time we see a policeman, at Wawa, we buy their coffee or we buy their sandwich, or we try to help as much as possible with the police. We need to have more morale in the police department. And it's kind of hard, since you're short-handed. But I just don't want you to think I came up to complain all the time. Okay? So just thank you for... Oh, and thank you for the speed signs. I have 25-mile-an-hour speed signs on my road, as well as handicapped person in area. But it doesn't matter because they still speed. But that's okay. But thank you anyway. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cathers.
Thank you, Ms. Cathers.
Deacon Bellick?
Robert Bailey. I just want to take this time to thank council, the mayor, the administrator, for listening to the problem that existed on my street, 20 Woodland Avenue, last month. I just want to let you know that our street have been paved and the employees did a fantastic job. And I just want to say thank you, council.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Nice to end.
Seeing no other public comment, council members.
I'll go first and be quick. First, I would like to say welcome to Jason's brother that's sitting back there with that eagle hat on. He's visiting in from Vegas, so welcome. And I would like to thank everyone who participated in the National Night Out. You can see I have a shirt, and it was just phenomenal. All that participated in and made it a success. It was just awesome. I just wish the newspapers would have came down here and made a good report on here, maybe the TV, but it was just really beautiful. I think it was even larger than it was last year. So I would like to thank them and thank everyone for coming out and for your comments tonight. I'll say it once and I'll say it twice. Our youth need to know that we care, that we invest. And I'll say it over and over and over again, that we invest. And if you don't invest in them, you'll pay in the long run. Have a good night. Thanks for coming out.
Ms. Trueblood?
I just want to say thank you for coming out and for the residents that share and we hear and that we do pay, attention and want to do what's best for this township. And just thank you and have a great, and we'll see each other again on the 19th of August.
Ms. Jackson?
It's nice to end comments on some good notes, so that was very nice. But I want to just make a couple of comments. The Water Carnival was really good. I know it was hard this year without Tamara, but I think that Nicole did an excellent job, and the Recreation Department as a whole did a really good job. I wanted to say something about the soccer fields. We're getting $1.1 million, and $750,000 of that is a grant. So we're getting all that money really for just $350,000. I feel you guys paying. I have 4 kids. They all did with 0%. I'm sorry. Thank you, Andy. With 0% interest. But like I said, I feel you guys paying with the soccer fields. My kids were back there at the high school. It was muddy then, and I'm sure it's even worse now. But your ideas were really good. I think your name is Pam? Kelly? What's your name? Kathy, sorry. I like your ideas. I'm sure we can hopefully incorporate some of them. I'm not saying that we will, but they were some really good ideas that I, for one, did not think about. Mr. Tompkins with the traffic, I'm sure that is a big issue. It will be a big issue, but I'm sure when they go to do all the plans that hopefully they have some kind of plan in place to accommodate some of those kind of issues. I commend you guys for sticking in there, coming out here as the president and parents to talk about the soccer club. Shows your commitment to, what you're doing and to the kids, and you should be commended on that. We'll do what we can. I personally am for it. We can't vote for it tonight, I know, but I can voice my own opinion about it. Other than that, I thank everybody for coming out tonight and for your comments, and please be safe on your way home this evening. Thank you as well.
Thank you all for coming out this evening. Mr. Gonzalez, thank you as usual for fielding the questions that our residents have. To our risk management coordinator, consultant, thank you for staying the duration of our meeting. We had a quick but productive meeting this evening. I'd also like to publicly, Ms. Stinney beat me to it, but I'd like to publicly acknowledge my Las Vegas family for coming to a meeting on their vacation. My brother and sister-in-law and my mom, who resides in the township as well.
Sorry.
With that being said, again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out, and I look forward to seeing you at the next meeting.
Sorry to the sister-in-law.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Somebody second, Amy?
Second.
Okay.